The air in the small borrowed office was thick with the scent of cheap coffee and rising panic. The victory, once so sweet on the tongues of the newly elected councillors, had soured into a bitter awareness of their own inadequacy. They were a collection of honest souls, community leaders, and advocates who had ridden a wave of public discontent straight into the gilded halls of Manila City Hall. They possessed the heart, the fire, the genuine desire to serve the forgotten corners of the city. But passion, they were quickly learning, was not a currency the system recognized. The labyrinthine corridors of power were governed by arcane rules, whispered alliances, and a language of procedure they simply did not speak. A motion to adjourn, a point of order, the subtle art of the filibuster. These were weapons in a war they didn't know how to fight. They were lambs in a den of wolves, and a storm was gathering on the horizon, a storm named Guerrero. They needed more than just a leader. They needed a guide, a shield, someone to keep their fragile coalition from shattering against the rocks of political reality. Inevitably, every worried gaze in the room drifted towards one man. He stood apart, leaning against a wall, his presence a stark contrast to the cheap suits and nervous energy of the others. Tanggol de Magiba, he was their symbol, their champion, the physical embodiment of their struggle. His name was a legend whispered in the slums and markets, a promise of protection for the powerless. His expertise, however, was written not in law books, but in the scars on his knuckles and the unwavering steel in his eyes. Tango listened to their frantic discussion, hearing words that felt alien to him. He understood strategy, but his was the strategy of a brawl in a darkened alley, knowing when to press an advantage, when to absorb a blow, how to spot the weakness in an opponent's stance. How could that possibly translate to a world of paperwork and political maneuvering? He